What's going on, everybody? It's your boy JRich. We have a Monday night doubleheader between the Miami Dolphins and the Tennessee Titans and the Green Bay Packers and the New York Giants. And I am here to give you your best bets over on Prizepicks. A little bit of a research show you guys where the bets are moving, where the money is trending, and where you should be placing your bets. So without further ado, let's get into the best bets for today, and let's make some money on Monday Night Football. So as you can see here, there's already some good bets on the board. One that I am seeing, I don't know if I love it personally, is this Tyreek Hill prop. You can see here, it is minus 135 to the under right now on DraftKings Sportsbook. That is phenomenal value at 7.5. I do obviously like Tyreek Hill to go over the yards. They are quite high at 106.5 on DraftKings, 108.5 on Prizepicks, so you do really need to pay up. But as you can see, Sportsline has him for 125 against his Tennessee Titans defense. I do like the yardage if you wanted to go for the over. Tyreek Hill is chasing that 2,000 yard mark, and he is well on track. He almost has 100 receptions. He has almost 1,500 yards. He is probably going to go over in this matchup. The only fear, really, Miami Dolphins favored by 14 points, but every indication is that Tyreek Hill will smash this number. You can see minus 132, the over. Even at 108.5, I don't really care what the number is, unless it's like 115.5. Then maybe we start to consider not taking it. But at 106, 108, this number's been trending up all week. Take the over for Tyreek Hill, but the receptions does lean more towards an under. We know that Tyreek is a big play guy. He will probably see 10 plus targets. Whether he catches 8 of those or not, I don't really care. He's probably going to go over the yards. The receptions, we'll see. I also do kind of like this under for DeAndre Hopkins at minus 130 to go under in terms of the catches, because the Miami Dolphins defense is phenomenal. It's such a great defense. I would be willing to run the risk of a DeAndre Hopkins under here. These are really your top plays in terms of edge. When you're looking at other ones, Dontavian Wicks' receiving yards does look good as well. Minus 125 to the over at 30.5. I see a lot of people today on his receptions. I don't think the receptions is on Prizepicks right now, but if you see it at 2.5, a lot of people are on the over for that one. So Wicks receiving yards, again, the yards is a little bit harder to come by than the catches, but do really like Wicks as a big play threat for this offense. So I don't mind that one. More of a yellow, like let's watch it. If it continues to move, then it could definitely be trending towards an over. Raheem Mostert's rushing yards, I mean, the question is not so much can he get the yards, it's is this a game at all? That's the biggest problem. Mostert at 45.5 rushing yards. Yes, Devon Achane is back, and so you see that he's going to be involved as well, but the biggest problem is he going to get the yards? I honestly don't know. I don't know if Mostert can get the 45.5. I know that he can do it, but will he do it in this game where Achane could go off, Tyreek Hill could go off? There's lots of things that can happen in this game. You look at Romeo Doubs at 45.5. I do like that number. It's a pretty good spot against the Giants defense that isn't very good. The problem for me is, are the Green Bay Packers going to have to throw the ball to win? We know that Aaron Jones is very unlikely to play in this game. We know that A.J. Dillon will get his fair share of carries, but will they actually have to throw the ball to win, or do they just kind of play ball control, get it done, and it's over with? You look at Saquon Barkley as well, his receiving yards at 17.5. It's okay. It is juiced up on Prizepicks, so I probably wouldn't take it. Now we can scroll down and see what else. There's not a whole lot of other value on the board. You see other unders. Jordan Love's rushing yards. I would not take it under Jordan Love's rushing yards. If anything, I do like the over. Tajay Spears' receiving yards is a pretty good one. It is juiced to the under, but in a game with a 14-point spread, I'm always willing to take the backup who could be in for a big day. You see Devon Achane's rushing yards at 56.5 on Prizepicks, 54.5 on DraftKings, so a little bit leaning towards an under. Jordan Love's passing yards is very interesting because there is a 5-yard edge. I talked about on Saturday, not a massive edge is 5 yards, but it is one that you could take. You know, this Tua line at 287.5. Again, he could smash this number if he played the full game, but he's probably not going to play the whole game. Derrick Henry's receptions, Tucker Kraft's yards, which I don't hate either. I do like Tucker Kraft quite a bit. Chigakonkwo, you see some Jalen Waddle receiving yards. I mean, I wouldn't go after that one personally. I don't really like it. Tajay Spears' rushing yards, though, is interesting at 20.5. It is 19.5 on DK. You see also Saquon Barkley's rushing yards looks pretty good as well, but I don't think I'd go after that one. I really think this is where you want to hedge your bets, right? These are the lines you want to take, whether you want Tyreek's under or just take the over for the receiving yards. I do really like the Wicks play personally. I think the matchup is great against a Giants team that does allow quite a few big plays. So I like that. I do like the Mostert rushing yards because, again, why is Devon Achane's line ahead of him? Really, it's because it's going to be a blowout and Mostert will be the one to sit. Achane will be the one to clean up the garbage time. But 45.5 yards, I mean, come on. Come on, Mostert. You can do it. I really like it. I don't mind the Dobbs line either. It should be the primary receiver. We are not expecting Christian Watson to play in this game, so unless something changes, Dobbs would be in line for a big day. Another reason why I also like Wicks. He'd be the number 2 receiver and filling in for Christian Watson. Jaden Reed will get his targets as well, and I talked about Tucker Kraft will also be involved, but Wicks is the guy that will probably be the biggest beneficiary from Christian Watson being out. You see this Jalen Waddle line here. His receptions at 4.5, minus 160 to the over, but Prizepicks does have 5. I don't necessarily want to go after him at 6. If you want to, it's not a terrible line, but I don't love it. This Slayton line at 26.5 is insanely low. But again, do I actually trust him to hit it? Not really. So that's the biggest problem there. And I don't mind this Barkley line as well. You have to pay up a little bit on Prizepicks, but I don't hate it. Again, they're probably going to be playing from behind. Barkley's probably going to get involved, but DeVito hasn't been throwing to him as much as we would like to see from Saquon Barkley. So not a phenomenal play. But this Hopkins line, the under, I really like this one. And obviously, I love the Tyreek Hill over. Even at 108.5, it sounds crazy, but he just might hit it. Consider Dontavian Wicks and Raheem Mostert. Darius Slayton is just so low. You always need to consider something like that. And then Saquon Barkley isn't so bad as well in a game that I expect them to be playing from behind, and hopefully DeVito will throw the ball. But both teams play a relatively slow pace, so you don't want to go crazy with some of these bets. But that's what I'm looking at today. I think this is kind of where you want to hedge your bets. And as always, if you tail, give Prizepicks hell, and if we fail, do not bail. I'll be back on Thursday with more picks and bets for a disgusting game between the Los Angeles Chargers and the Las Vegas Raiders. But Tyreek Hill and DeAndre Hopkins are who you want to target today. And of course, there's some other picks that I gave you for you to consider in your slips. I am your host, Jordan Richards, and I will be back on Thursday night. Good luck tonight, and I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm out. Peace.